Good morning, my beautiful friends. This is your wake up call with Maui Paul. And once again, we have come together to say some nice things about ourselves. We understand that this world will not always have the most positive messaging for us. In fact, it's very profitable for this world to have negative messages about us and to encourage us to say negative things about ourselves. Societally, it's beneficial for the powers that be to really cause us to say negative things and have negative perceptions of ourselves in the name of the collective. And so what we are going to do here today is we're going to be working with my I Am deck. Now this I Am deck is just absolutely full of amazing affirmations. And in this season 2 of the Wake Up Call with Maui Paul, we're going to be talking about these affirmations, these empowering I Am statements in the context of the opposites. One of the most common pieces of critical feedback that I've ever gotten about this show is that how could I remain positive all the time? Isn't negativity a part of life? Aren't feelings that we prefer not to feel a part of life? And of course they are. And I'm here to show how these things can be integrated, how the positive and the negative dualities that exist inside of us can be integrated in a way that is wholly beneficial for us and for the people who surround us. So we're going to go through these I am statements. We're going to pull a card off the top of the I am deck, and I'm going to ask you if you are the affirmation on the card. You're going to respond, I am the affirmation on the card. You're going to mean it too. And then I'm going to ask you to write it down in the comments. And so let us begin with the one from the top of the deck here. I am forgiving. I am forgiving. I carry no resentment through life, only love. So I am forgiving. I carry no resentment through life, only love. I am forgiving. Are you forgiving? You are forgiving. You carry no resentment through life, only love. I'm going to write that down in the comments right now. And I'd like for you to write that down too. Affirm it to yourself. Let that feeling travel from your mind where it is an ephemeral concept down through your fingers where it is real, through your vocal cords where it is real. Put that out there into the world and give voice to that expectation of ourselves. Because you are forgiving, and I am forgiving too. And the reason that I'm working with the opposites is because of this card. This is one of my intuition cards. And this card is called the opposites. This was the card that I pulled when I thought about what the theme was for this year. The intuition card is actually part of another deck that I use and I play with, and we'll be playing with that in another show. I'll be doing that probably about once a week. I'm currently deciding what it is that I want to do with that deck. But let's talk about forgiveness for a second. Forgiveness is a gift that we give ourselves. And the only reason that we know that forgiveness is a concept is because we harbor resentment, because somebody wrongs us and we feel bad about them and we want to hurt them in some way because they hurt us. How many people have hurt you in the past that you have not forgiven, or it's been very difficult to forgive? Ultimately, when we forgive people, we release ourselves from the burden of having to hate them. We release ourselves from the burden of wanting something bad for them. And we release ourselves from the burden of judgment, because oftentimes when we hate somebody or don't forgive somebody, we don't always have the full information as to why they did what they did. In many cases, the sands of time have revealed to me that somebody who I was very angry with and needed to forgive, actually I was the one in the wrong all along, and there was really no forgiveness necessary. And so I have made it a modus operandi in my life to, from my heart, forgive as many people as possible, as quickly as possible, and also to avoid a situation where I had to forgive, to avoid the situation where I felt any offense. And if I don't feel offense, why would I need to forgive? Ultimately, in the reality of our lives, we find that there are people, there are situations that are more difficult for us to forgive than other ones. And when that happens, when I find that I am wallowing in anger and wallowing in unforgiveness about somebody, I have to consider, I think to myself, what is this telling me about myself? And judge not lest ye be judged, right? And in the manner that we judge others, we ourselves are judged. And I think that one of the tacit things that isn't mentioned in that passage is that the the way that we're judged is by ourselves. We judge ourselves when we judge others. We are showing our own insecurities. We are showing our own flaws, our own faults, our own unforgiveness. And so forgiveness is such an important concept. It is a superpower in life because it allows us to just get over it and to focus on the things that are important to us instead of focusing on why somebody else has done us wrong. I know that in this world, I have been I've needed to be forgiven as many times as I've needed to forgive others, and I certainly have wronged other people, and in the same way that I've been wronged. And so when I look at the people who've wronged me, or even the people that I perceive have wronged me, in a light of why is it hard for me to forgive this person for this thing, it really helps me to understand myself better and to make better choices that prevent me from requiring for the forgiveness of others in the future. So I am forgiving, and you are forgiving too. And so let's make a special effort today to forgive the people that we have not been forgiving, and also to not rack up any new people that we need to forgive, to love them unconditionally, even when they do something that we think requires an apology. Aloha from paradise.